G'day all. How are you? You folks are always so generous with your applause. We've got a small number of folks in the room. Okay, good day to you and everyone. Yes, I can see the chat down there. It's a little way away, so I've got to squint. But so welcome to this first Uke Chat format. I've never done one like this before, so this is a first. Welcome to my little lounge. So what are we talking about here? Uke Chat and requests. Well, not about you, but I like to watch a lot of YouTube podcasts. A lot of politics ones, science ones, maths ones. We've got one where we look at a live eagle's nest with a couple of chicks in it, things like that. Anyway, lots of YouTube channels, and a lot of them are sort of a podcast format, where we have a bit of a chat, discuss some topics, or do something of interest. So I thought, well, why don't I have a bit of a venture into that? This one here is going to be a bit of a chat, and then we might play a couple of songs, I think, since we gathered in this little virtual room together. We might just do a couple of songs. The idea is that you put a topic in the chat. Now, if you can't see the live chat, it might be because you haven't signed into Google. So you do need to have an account so that when you go to YouTube, it'll open up the live chat for you. So have a little look around and see if you can find live chat, because this sort of format is not going to work if we don't get a bit of chat happening. It's going to get very boring very quickly. You don't want to hear me ramble on. Okay, so I'll just fix that in a minute. Okay, so if you give me some topics to talk about, or you ask me some questions, then that will generate a little bit of activity, and that will be good. I do have a couple of things on my little list to chat about. So we'll mix it up a little bit. If you give me some questions or some topics you might want to talk about, it could be anything, you know. It could be music related. You might want to find out a bit about me or what I do, or tell us a little bit about what you do. And going forward, I would like to, much like other podcasts do, bring in a guest. You can sit over here in this beautiful empty chair next to me and fill it up, and we'll have a chat. So if you've got an interesting musical journey, or you might like to lead a song for us, perhaps, or just come and chat, shoot the breeze, that would be great. And we'll do it through a Zoom room, but I'll talk a little bit about that later. I've actually got a Zoom room happening at the moment. But it just popped up and told me it's about to time out, so I might have to restart it, but that's no big deal. So I do have a question. Let me squint at it. What are the differences between all ukulele, concert, baritones, etc.? Okay, so in answer to that question, the three smaller ones, you've got the soprano, and then the slightly bigger one to that is the concert, and the slightly bigger one to that is the tenor. And then there is a baritone, which is bigger again. So as you go up in size, the size of the actual ukulele body itself goes up. And as the size of the ukulele body goes up, you're going to have more resonance, especially in the lower notes, okay? So the smallest one, the soprano, is going to give you a tinkly Hawaiian sound, okay? So if that's what you're after, just a classic Hawaiian sound, the soprano will be great. It's small, it's portable, and it'll give you that beautiful ukulele sound. If you go up to the next one, the concert, it gives you a little bit of a fuller sound, and the tenor, again, will give you a much more deep sound. The baritone, as the name suggests, is almost like a guitar, really. It's a ukulele guitar, and it has different tuning to the other three. The soprano, concert, and tenor all are tuned the same. Baritone has a different tuning. The other thing to consider is the size of the actual neck of the ukulele varies. So you go from small with the soprano, concert, tenor, baritone. So that gives you more room between the frets. And also, typically, as you go up in size, the nut, which is that little saddle equivalent bit up there at the top where the strings come, the nut is a little bit wider on the bigger guitar, on the bigger ukuleles, which means you've got more room to put your fingers. Okay? More room to put your fingers. So if you've got big fingers, big hands, you might need to go for perhaps a tenor. If you've got fine fingers and you don't have a problem, then you can have a look at the soprano or the concert. So that's the basic thing about it. Why not get one of each? What else have we got here? Hello, Trevor. Great to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you, Trevor. Stephen says, do you use all the same chord formations? I'll just lean forward a bit. I think you're referring to, do you use the same chord formations for all when using tabs? You do, as I said, the tuning of the ukulele is the same for the soprano, the concert, and the tenor. So all the chord formations are different. The baritone has different tuning, so it will have different chord formations for a baritone. I can't quite recall the tuning of the baritone. I've never had one. So I've got a zoom view here. That brings me a little. Let me see if I can get this happening here. Bear with me. Okay, so that little thing's not working for me now. That's all right. I'm learning as we go. So bear with me. So that's, I think, answered your question, hopefully, Stephen. There is a 30-second delay on me seeing your comments, by the way. So that's why I'm not responding necessarily straight away. Checking here. Looks okay. Hopefully it's working for you. Is the stream working okay for you? Give me a thumbs up. Or is it giving you a little bit of a buffering thing there? Stephen says, how often would you suggest to change the strings? It depends a little bit on how often you play and how hard you play. The minimum would be once a year. Okay, but if you're playing often, then you might need to maybe do it after 6 months. The other thing to listen for is how do your notes sound? So you play each string and see if it's still coming through nice and clear without any funny harmonics or strange noises coming out of it. Because after a while, if a string is starting to go, it'll give you some very strange sounds, higher harmonics. It sounds harsh. It doesn't sound sweet like perhaps it used to. That's another clue that you need to change your strings. So minimum 12 monthly. If you're playing a lot, maybe 6 monthly. Or if you're finding that it's starting to sound a little bit twangy and harmonic-y and a bit sharp and not very nice, that might be an indicator to change your strings. So that's that. So let me just, I won't worry about that. We seem to be doing okay. I've got a little few things that I might chat about while we're getting a few other questions up there in the chat. Think of a few things to say, and I'll see if I can bring up my little couple of discussion points before we get to playing a song or two. All right, here we go. Well, there's another question there. Your recommendation for which type of strings to use for more of a good tone? Just go for a good brand name. Go to your local music store, maybe Aquila, something like that. Go for a good brand. And sometimes a ukulele manufacturer will recommend the best type of string to use on their particular instrument. So I just recently bought a new ukulele, and they recommended Japanese fluorocarbon strings, of all things, and that's what it came with, Japanese fluorocarbons. But you can go for some cheaper nylon ones, but they'll sound cheap and nylon. They won't hold their tune well. They'll go out of tune quite often, which is often what happens also with a cheap ukulele. If you get the cheapest ukulele, it's not going to hold its tune well. It's going to go out of tune. Anyway, I'll quickly cover this little topic here, which is Beginner Uke Lessons. I've previously run 5 series of Beginner Uke Lessons over the last few years. And I've got another one coming up. So I'll just talk briefly because there might be a few people in the room here that have signed up or thinking of signing up. They start on Monday the 21st of April, so I guess that's about 3 weeks out, isn't it? They run for 5 weeks. What happens is that there's a weekly content email that's issued every Sunday, and it covers the material for that week. Each week obviously builds on the previous week, so it's a good idea to work through that week's material if you can get through it. It's hosted on Vimeo, which is similar to YouTube, but it provides you access to the videos without ads. I find ads are a bit nasty. I have a YouTube Premium account, which is ad-free. So if you watch a lot of YouTube, consider signing up for a YouTube Premium account and see how that goes for you. But anyway, my training videos are up on Vimeo, so you won't have any problems with ads there. And it also gives me a few advantages too as a producer, Vimeo does. So during the 5 weeks, we introduce a number of songs. We start off with a very simple song, and we move to pick up some other songs that help us to learn the techniques that we're covering during that 5 weeks. We use a lot of drill videos. So a drill video, you might say, what is a drill video? Well, it's a video that you play along to help you and teach you how to move from one chord to another at the right time, okay? So first up, we learn some chords, the fingering of the chords. But having learnt the chords, it's then important to, I might just click record here. I might just record it from this point too to see how that goes. Hopefully this recording doesn't impact the live stream, so let me know if it's giving you any glitches. But anyway, the drills, yes. So we learn the chords, but then we have to learn to go from one chord to another, and maybe back to the original again in time, in a tempo. So we use a metronome for that. And by going through the drills, this is the way that we learn to change chords correctly and in the right time and get comfortable. And then we apply those chord changes to the song that we happen to be learning at the time. Same with the strumming. There are a few different strumming patterns that we learn, and so we do drills for that as well, so that you become very comfortable with the strumming patterns. And again, we do that to the metronome. We start off with some strumming patterns, and then we add some chords, and then we do the strumming patterns and the chords together in a song, and then we just drill the song, right? Okay. The whole idea is getting muscle memory. We also have workshops in person. and on Zoom. For those people that aren't local to either Canberra or the South Coast down here at Bateman's Bay. So that way you spend the week learning materials at your own pace by working through the videos, and then we come together in a workshop where you can ask the questions and we cover off some of that material that you might want to just work through or have questions about. But the combination of the online learning plus the face-to-face tutorials or Zoom tutorials, we'll have Zoom sessions as well, just in case, for those folks that want to have that one-on-one but can't be local face-to-face. So we'll have Zoom sessions for those. Also to mention, we'll probably have a WhatsApp group. So if you've got an immediate question you need an answer to, you just hit the WhatsApp group and we'll be able to deal with it in the WhatsApp group. The cost of it is $85 for the 5 weeks. So if you amortise it out over 5 weeks, it's not much. A couple of cups of coffee. I mentioned the WhatsApp thing. If you need more information on the ukulele lessons, then go to ukesalive.com. And there might even be a link in this video, I think, where you can click and go and find some more information about the uke lessons. So let me see what's happening in the chat there. Alan. G'day, Alan. Been playing ukulele for 9 years, so more of an intermediate player. That's fine. Unfortunately, the store I ordered from, a 3-hour train ride in the UK, they just suggested perseverance. Yes, okay. I guess perseverance in just learning. I guess that's what you're referring to. I think I will go back to a high G, which is frustrating. Yeah, okay. So low G versus high G, that's referring to that string 4, the one that's closest to your chin. You can have a G chord that's high, so it goes la, 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 my dog's my dog. So la, or you can have a low G. D, 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 D. As opposed to the high G, da, 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 da. The low G gives you a little bit more of a rhythm. It's kind of nice if you've got it on perhaps a tenor ukulele. It gives you a little bit more depth, more mellow, and it gives you a bit more rhythm. And if you're a picker, it also gives you some more options if you're a bit of a picker. I've alternated between the two. They both have their nice sides. Currently, I'm playing a high G. The low G tenor ukulele I bought 6 months back. Right? Yes. Trouble I had with the low G is that for whatever reason, that low G string, it kept breaking on me. Whether that's because I just never wound it on correctly or something, I don't know. It just seemed to wear through. It was a wound string, and it just seemed to wear through on the fret and give way. But anyway, I'm currently playing a high G. Let's have a little look at this other section I've got here. I've got live guests in this chat. So, like I was suggesting, I would like to bring in some guests from time to time and have a proper chat. So it's not just me sitting here chatting to a microphone, but we'll bring someone in through Zoom. So I might go in a minute, if you'll just bear with me. Perhaps at the end I'll do this. I'll just fire up that Zoom session again. And I think there is a link in the description of this video. You can click on it and go to that Zoom session. And we might, for 1 or 2 people hang about after, if you're willing, we might give it a test. You click on that link and it'll open a Zoom session, and then we can bring the Zoom session into here so that people can actually see me plus my guest, and I can be having a chat with my guest. So we can bring people in with particular knowledge, particular experience or skills, or just anybody that wants to come and have a chat with me, and they can sit here next to me virtually and we can have a bit of a chat. So that'll be good. So that's what I'm hoping to do. So if you out there like to chat, If you've got a lived experience with your music or your ukulele and would like to share a little bit about your life in music or anything else, any other topic, or you might just like to join in with the audio. So sometimes I've seen podcasts where a guest will come on through Zoom, just the audio, and the host will say, "Hello, John, how are you? What's your question?" And John will verbalise the question rather than putting it in the chat here, so everybody will get to hear that question. So this is what I would like to do, perhaps in the next session. So if you know of somebody, you or someone else, that might like to be a guest on this little Uke Chat, perhaps go to the website, ukesalive.com. You can see it up the top right-hand corner, and send us a message through there. There's a contact form. So go to the ukesalive.com, click on the contact form and send us a bit of information about how you might like to be involved in this chat, assuming that we keep it going. This is the first, you never know, it might be the last. So what else is happening here? Let me have a little look. Okay, a wide angle. Okay, so Alan said it's a £300 uke, not cheap, but on offer for $219, a bargain. The sound is fabulous, but the low G buzzes randomly. Yeah, low G. Yeah, I had trouble with the low G. It can actually, because it's a lower note, it could actually be causing something in your ukulele to buzz. It might be a loose fitting, a loose bridge bit inside or something. Lou says, "G'day, Gary." Yep. Alan says again, assume changing low G back to a high G is no problem. No, it's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Let me introduce my new baby. This is my new baby. I don't know if you can see it there. That's my new baby. It's my new uke. It's got a lovely Coca-Cola back on it, which is really nice. It's a Flight ukulele. Flight is a good brand. This one was about $1,800. So certainly not a cheap ukulele. It's got a beautiful, you can't really see it, I'll hold it up. It's got a lovely dragon inlay on the neck. I'll just put it in front of the camera, see if you can see it. You can sort of see it, but it's green, so that means it goes transparent on my setup. Okay. So yeah, no problem going back to a high G or a low G. You can just swap them around. Let me put this up a little bit. I've got a few more that have joined us. Welcome to those that have only just joined us. This is our first try at doing a Uke Chat. Yeah, Alan said flights are really good. I have a travel soprano. This is a tenor. It's the 10-year anniversary model. Probably why it's a little bit more expensive than the others, but I had a Lanakai previously, and I put Lanakai in this one and played the Lanakai and played this one, and honestly, it's chalk and cheese. This has just got a beautiful little sound to it. I've got a new pickup in it too. The pickup is one I haven't seen before. It doesn't have all of the battery business and everything. It has its own little batteries, and you plug a power supply in as you would simply plug an audio cable, and in 60 seconds, it's charged up enough to play for 8 hours. So you don't have to worry about batteries and all of that stuff, which is really quite unique. And it's got two pickups. It's got a little piezoelectric pickup and also a little microphone pickup inside. So, yeah. So the last ukulele I bought, Alan, was about 10 years ago. So I don't buy a lot of ukuleles. This is 10 years ago I bought my first one. This is my second one. So, like I said, if you spread it out over 10 years, it's not so bad. All right, so let me just bring this one up again. So, yeah, the current formats of my YouTube videos, we've got the coaching and play-along videos, which I've been doing for quite a few years now. Most of you would have probably seen them up there. Again, there's a link on ukesalive.com if you haven't seen them, or just go to my channel, this channel that you're watching this video on. I think there's over 300 up there now. Interestingly, I don't get any money from YouTube, so I'm not monetized. To get monetized, you've got to have 4,000 watch hours in the last 365 days. And I've been sitting on about 3,950 for the last 3 or 4 months. But even if it was, even if my channel was to get monetized, I wouldn't receive any money because all of the videos I do are covers. And so these are other people's songs that I do a bit of coaching on, and then we have a play along. And all of the videos that I've put up there are copyrighted. They let me use them. They let them stay up there. But any money that is earned from them through people watching ads or whatever doesn't come to me. I've never got a cent out of YouTube. It goes to them. And that's fine. They own the song. So again, I don't do this for any monetary purpose. In fact, like I said, if you added up the thousands of dollars I've spent on my music and equipment over the years, there's no way that YouTube would ever be able to give me enough money to cover anywhere near that. Alan says, is it heavy? No, it's very light, extremely light ukulele. I've got some information on it which I can share. Perhaps I'll put a link to it in this video after the fact. So if you come back in a day or so to this video again, have a look at it. And in the description field, I'll put a link to a little bit of information about the ukulele that I bought. I bought it from, trying to remember the name of the mob now. Let me just look over here because I said that I would mention who they were. Ukulele. Just bear with me for 2 shakes. Bear with me. I'll put a link to it. I can't find it now. I'm not going to waste time looking for it. Okay, so what else? Yeah, so that's the current formats. We do the live hoot nanny and house party sessions, and they've been really good. Well watched. Lots of people come and watch those. I think there's a number of groups that actually use them for their own little house ukulele groups. They put the hoot nanny up with about the 16 songs on the TV or on a screen, and they sit around and they all play along to that. So they seem to be working out quite well. And then we've got this one, which we're trying for the first time, Uke Chat and requests. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Obviously, it'll be a lot more interesting if I have another guest here to chat to. That'll be the whole purpose. We'll have a couple of topics to talk about, and you'll be able to join in and have a bit of a chat. Like I said, for those new folks that have just joined, the idea is that I'll have a Zoom session running on the side, and there's a link. Once we've had a little bit of a play along, for those couple of people that might want to hang around after, I'll just fire up that Zoom session, and I think the link that is in this description below should take you to that Zoom session. And once you're in the Zoom session, I can bring you in here, and we can just see if it works. If we don't do it today, then I'll just have to find a volunteer to help me test it out. Now, what else is happening here? Stephen. Oh, Alan, I have suggested Hotel California for my ukulele group this week. We have 2 Eagles fans, so hopefully it might fly. We could do that one tonight if you wanted. There's one of our little songs that we do before we all run away. Hey, just wondering, do ukuleles usually come well set up from the factory like guitars, or is it better to get a music tech to tweak things like the bridge, nut, and string action? So if you buy it from a music store, you either buy it from a music store or you buy it from a distributor that sets it up for you, would be my recommendation. If you buy it from Amazon or something, then, who knows. But I've got another, if someone reminds me, I've got another really good video link which I can put in the description below, which talks about the different ukulele sizes and the setting up of them. So I'll put a link to that as well. It's covered in my course. The other thing to mention about my course is that one of the very valuable parts of that is a page that I've built up called Useful Information Links. So if I find a really good YouTube video, for example, that teaches something really well, I'll just point people to that rather than try and reinvent the wheel. No point reinventing the wheel. If you find a good video that teaches something well, why should I want to do it again? So let me just find this for you. Just bear with me. I'm looking for that. Why can't I find it? This is crazy. Oh, here we go. I found it. It's called the Ukulele Trading Company Australia. Okay? That's what it's called. Ukulele Trading Company Australia. They've got Facebook website. The website is www.ukeleletradingcoaustralia.com.au. A guy called Chris out of Adelaide, and you get quite good personalised service from him. Ukulele Trading Co. Australia. Look it up. Google it and you'll find it. So it was recommended to me by a friend, and he really only does 3 key brands, one of which is Flight. But he imports them and then he sets them up, strings them, does all of that and everything. So I recommend go to him, Ukulele Trading Company Australia, and you will find it. Okay. What else we got here? Amazon Ukes are a lottery. Yeah, I've been lucky, but know some that haven't. My uke group played Bus Stop after you did. Went down very well. Yeah, Bus Stop's a goodie. We went to see Graham. This is Alan again. We went to see. You can see these. I assume everybody can see the chat, right? So we went to see Graham Gouldman recently, and I told him we played Bus Stop and looked through any window. He played a new song called Play Me, the ukulele song. He played it very good, but he wouldn't send the chords. Oh, that's a bit sad. Never mind. By the way, you can always send me a request if you want a particular coaching video done. I do take a lot of requests. So we've been going a little while now. It's, what's the time, 8:10? Yeah, so we've been going 40 minutes. The idea of these Uke Chats is that they're only relatively short videos. We don't want to be taking you out of your life for too long. So we have a bit of a chat, cover a couple of topics, answer a few questions. If you bring up a topic, we can talk about the topic. Obviously, it'll be really good if I have a guest with me, and I'll talk more about that just at the end, because we might do a little trial. and just see if we can make it work for anybody that wants to hang around. So why don't we do a song then? You mentioned Hotel California. Let's see what songs I've got here first. Might try a simpler one first. Bear with me while I call this up. Okay, so I've got a few songs here that we're doing in a couple of weeks with our local uke group. So I might do... how about we do It Never Rains in Southern California? That's a good one. So it's just going to be me and my uke here. I don't have my normal drum. Normally I sit on a cajon, like a drum, and it's foot operated, so you've got the boom, gives you that rhythm. We don't have that tonight, so we won't worry about that. We'll just have a very quiet little unplugged set. Stephen said, do you recommend playing scales to strengthen muscle memory and practice? Nothing wrong with playing scales. My recommendation would be to play along with songs that you know, rather than scales. Okay, if you're planning to do a lot of finger picking, then by all means scales are great. I don't do any finger picking. I just do all strums. When it comes to playing the ukulele, I'll be honest with you, I'm just a bit of a hack. I can strum chords, but that's about it. I mean, I've got the ability to do picking, but to be honest with you, what I enjoy is just strumming along with chords, pretty much all open chords. I don't go up the neck much, if at all. I play pretty much all open chords down here, and just the chords, and I just enjoy playing songs. That's what I love to do. I'm not really into picking and riffs and melody, picking out that, although I do have a lot of respect for people that do that, because it's a beautiful thing. Alan said, totally agree. Best thing is to play songs. Yeah, and that's why I've put over 300 songs up there. So I'm sure you'll find one that you can play along to. So let me see if I can bring this up. Here we go. It Never Rains in Southern California. We'll just play it together. So get your uke out or sing. If you don't have a uke, just sing with me. I'll start it scrolling. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Got on board a westbound 747. Didn't think before deciding what to do. All that talk of opportunities, TV breaks and movies, it rang true, sure rang true. Seems it never rains in Southern California. Seems I've often heard that kind of talk before. It never rains in California, but girl, don't they warn ya, it pours, man, it pours. Out of work, I'm out of my head. Out of self-respect, I'm out of bread. I'm underloved, I'm underfed. I wanna go home. It never rains in California, but girl, don't they warn you, it pours, man, it pours. Do 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 do. Will you tell the folks back home I nearly made it. I've had offers, but don't know which ones to take. Please don't tell them how you found me. Don't tell them how you found me. Give me a break. Give me a break. Seems it never rains in Southern California. Seems I've often heard that kind of talk before. It never rains in California. But girl, don't they warn you? Will it pours? Man, it pours. Do 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 do. Good one. Do you mix bar chords and open chords to give the song a difference? No, I don't, Stephen. I play all open chords, but I understand what you're saying. If you were to play, because you can play the same chord different ways by moving the nut. You got the nut is the default fret 0, right? So you can play it open chords with that nut being the default fret 0, or you can move up 2 or 3 frets to move the nut. It's sort of like moving the nut up 3 frets, and you can play the same chord in different ways. Gives you a different sound, but it's something that I need to do more of. So I'll take that as homework, Stephen. Trevor, great song, Garry, and a great example of what you can do on a uke. Absolutely. Played along on my Makala soprano. Excellent, Alan. Okay, so I will find Hotel California. So chat amongst yourselves while I have a little look here. I'll go back to songs. If you're wondering what I use to play these songs, I use a little app on my iPad called OnSong, and it's just brilliant. Hotel California. Here we go. And it does a very nice smooth scroll, which is one of the things that I love about it. It does a lot of other things too, much of which I don't use. So here we go. Hotel California. Are we feeling brave? Hotel California. Hit me up with perhaps one other request. If someone else has got a song they'd like, just pop it in the chat there, and then we might call it quits for that. And if 1 or 2 or 3 people want to hang around when I bring up the Zoom session, and I'll see if I can bring into the Zoom session and then into here. Okay? So let's play Hotel California. 1, 2, 3, 4. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle, and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year you can find it here. Mine is Tiffany Twisted. She got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys she calls friends. And how they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. And so I called up the captain. Please bring me my wine, he said. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, with such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year you can find it here. Mirrors on the ceiling, pink champagne on ice. We are all just prisoners here of our own device. In the master's chambers they are gathered for the feast. They stab it with their stilly knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the nightman, we are programmed to receive. Yeah, you can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibi. Good one.